Hi everyone, this is Rongyue, and this video is for homework 4, question 1. Now let's take a look at this question. It asks us to find and draw the distribution and the density function of y in terms of fx. So before we start, we could draw its corresponding figure because the function of y equals gx is given, right? So we could say when x is less than 0, y equals 2. When x is between 0 and 1, y equals 0. And when x is between 1 and 2, y equals minus x plus 1. When x is greater than 2, y equals minus 1, right? So we could say actually the value of y is between minus 1 and 2. So when y is less than minus 1, fy will be 0. It's impossible, right? And when y is greater than 2, the distribution function will be 1, right? Because it includes all cases. Now let's take a look at when y is between minus 1 and 2. We will have that when y is equal to minus 1, the probability that y equals minus 1, actually it is equal to the probability that x is greater than 2, right? When x is greater than 2, y equals minus 1. So we could represent this as 1 minus fx2. And when y equals 0, the probability that y equals 0 is equal to when x is between 0 and 1, y equals 0. So this is the probability that x is between 0 and 1, which is fx1 minus fx0. Right. And when y equals 2, we could get that y equals 2. It is the probability that x is less than 0, which is fx0, right? So we get those 3 points, the distribution function of y at 3 points, right? So now we need to discuss when between those 3 points, what is its distribution function? What is density function? So when y is between minus 1 and 0, minus 1 and 0, this part is this, right? So y equals minus x plus 1. And we could get that its density function equals this. According to the formula, right? And this is the absolute value of minus 1, which is 1. So here we just apply those to the formula, and it is equal to fx1 minus y, right? And when y is between 0 and 2, we could see actually it is a jump. It's an impulse. So we could write as a summary, we could write it as its density function is equal to when y equals minus 1, its value is 1 minus fx2. And when y is between minus 1 and 0, its value is fx y minus y. And when y equals 0, its value is fx1 minus fx0. And when y equals 2, fy equals fx0. fx0. And otherwise, its value just 0. So since we get the its density function, we could also get its distribution function of y. Its distribution function is like, well, y is like we discussed before, y is less than minus 1 is impossible, so it's 0. And y is greater than 2, its value is 1, right? So when y is between minus 1 and 0, its value will be 1 minus fx1 minus 1. We will discuss how we get this formula later. And when y is greater than 0 and 2, greater than 0 and less than 2, its value is equal to fx0. When we get this, we could easily get this. Now let's discuss how we get this. Function. Well, y is between minus 1 and 0. Fy equals the probability that y less than y, right? Which is 1 minus, well, y is between this. Y equals minus x plus 1, right? So this is minus x plus 1 less than y. Right? And it is also equal to the probability that x is greater than 1 minus y. And we could represent it as 1 minus the probability that x less than 1 minus y, which is 1 minus fx1 minus y, right? Which is this. When we get this, since it's an impulse, right? So we need to bring the value back to the formula. Actually, it will be 1 minus f1 plus f1 minus fx0, right? So now let's draw their figure. Actually, their figure is like since we get their function, its distribution function is like y is minus 1 less than minus 1. The value is 0, right? So y is between minus 1 and 0 is 1 minus fx1 minus y. It's like this. And when y equals minus 1, its value is y minus fx2, right? And when y is between 0 and 2, actually its distribution function will be, since actually when y equals 0, there is an impulse here, right? So, and there is no value between, its density function's value will be 0 when y is between 0 and 2. So there is just a straight line. It's a straight line here, right? And here is 2. And this value is 1 minus fx0, right? So, and when y is greater than 2, it's also a straight line, and the value will be 1, right? And here, the gap, this gap is actually fx0, right? And now let's draw the figure of its density function. Actually, we could draw 3 impulses first. Y is equal to -1, 0, and 2. There are 3 impulses. Right, and the area is when y is equal to -1, the area is 1 minus fx2, right? And when y equals 0, the area is f1 minus f0, fx1 minus fx0. And when y is equal to 2, this area is fx0. And there is another part of the function. When y is between -1 and 0, the function is fx1 minus y. Right. Okay, that's all. Thank you.